Welcome back to RebelWatch, episode 15. I'm your host, Erika Dierke.
I'm Max Certuse.
I'm Mariah.
And I'm Paxton, DeBardeleben.
As you can see, we have a familiar face today. Hi, Max.
Hi, it's great to be back. I mean, let's get that out of the way. You know, kind of like Lane Kiffin, I left on a moment's notice, but I guess in this universe, I'm back to coach the playoffs, so I'm excited to be here.
That's exactly what this episode is. This is a postseason type of episode. That's how excited I am to be here before spring break. Thank you for 1,000 followers on Instagram. Yay, that's so exciting. And I also wanted to say shout out to Henry Stuart. The reason he's not here is because he's covering the women's basketball tournament, the SEC tournament today in South Carolina, but I'm sure he's watching. Hi, Henry. Speaking of basketball, men's basketball, we finally won a game. That's huge. We beat Auburn, right?
Yeah.
So
Double-edged sword.
I was going to say double-edged sword, yeah. I mean, yeah, let's unpack that, right? I won't lie, me personally, I guess you could kind of say I'm nothing short of a fake fan because it's kind of sad that the double-edged sword is, well, yeah, we won a basketball game, but we finally won a basketball game. This team has been historically bad, and, you know, you can walk away with a win, but I don't think the end justifies the means.
Well, yeah, this is an extremely surprising win. This program isn't what it used to be since Bruce Pearl retired. Son, Stephen Pearl, kind of took the program over. Bruce Pearl made 2 Final Fours in 2019 and 2025. So, I mean, this team isn't like you're not expecting them to be good year one under a new coach. Another surprising stat, Auburn won 10 games in a row over Ole Miss. So it's great to see us in the win column. You know, I'm surprised.
what do you think?
I think it was an amazing win. I will say, is it Patterson Pickens or something?
Patton.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. I screwed your name up. And A.J. Store, they dominated this game. They had 52 out of the 85 points, and that's a lot of points to put up. And congrats to those two. And I know you're probably sipping the whiskey feeling sad about after this Vanderbilt game.
Speaking of the Vanderbilt game, we lost, albeit in overtime. Maybe we ran out of gas. Maybe we were never going to win. But, you know, we showed some flashes of promise in the Vanderbilt game, but we couldn't get it done. Why do we think that is? Is that representative of the season?
Well, yeah, I'm leaning towards kind of, never going to win. I think what you were talking about. There was a significant improvement with the offensive rhythm. I mean, that was apparent, and, you know, that's what's, you know, important. But at this point in the season, going towards, you know, what seems to be the end now, does it matter? No, not really. I think you just got to kind of take your losses with this one, go on this offseason, and really fix things up. I don't know if it's a coaching change. Ole Miss has been, you know, in talks, not just for football, but everywhere with the transfer portal. But there needs to be changes made.
Yeah, common theme of this team, we always lose close games, especially in the SEC. It's just another gut-wrenching loss. I mean, this team has just been absolutely horrible this entire season. And my favorite guy on the team, Erika Dierke, commits a flagrant foul with 30 seconds left, up by 2 points. I mean, that's just terrible basketball. You just can't make that up. And, I'm surprised we didn't get blown out.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss, for me, they have a difficulty closing out these games. It can be close games, and then at the end, it's just they went 2 for 10 in overtime. You know how bad that is to go 2 for 10 in overtime. And Vanderbilt grabbed 22 offensive rebounds compared to our 12. So that just shows you the lack of chemistry, the lack of effort, the lack of just the ability to close these games out in a close game until it went to overtime.
Yeah, and we saw that with Vanderbilt the first time, too, when we played them in Nashville. Like, it was close the entire time, but then it's just another disappointing loss to stack on to all of those that we had since, like, January 17th or something. So I'm glad that we ended the season with, like, you know, a win. We didn't end the season with a win. We actually had one more regular season game, but...
I mean, you know, late game execution, shooting 40% from the field, it's not great basketball. So, for me, why bother?
I do think they could win against South Carolina this Saturday. I do think they can win that game. So
we both at 12 and 18, both of our teams?
Yeah, I think there's a chance. This is an even matchup.
The battle of the bottom.
Yeah, that's not. Make sure you tune into that. And then
Watch
there
if you
is
hate basketball.
the SEC tournaments. If we won all those games,
March 11th through the 15th. Tune in, guys.
we will have some coverage on it when we get back after spring break for the SEC tournament, and that will wrap up our Ole Miss basketball talks until March Madness, which no one is expecting the Rebels to grace the tournament this year. Any other thoughts on basketball?
I mean, my rec team kind of went off this week.
Yeah, okay. You have two intramural stars sitting on both sides of me. Anything you guys want to say about your intramural?
I think my intramural team is better than our basketball team. We're 2-0. They're 12 and 18.
Can you set that matchup?
Yeah,
Raindrops
I got to
versus
agree
Ole
with
Miss.
that. You know, Quattro's Army went off this week, and it's been really great. I mean,
Y'all heard y'all did some recruiting in season.
well, you know, that's what any great coach.
Is that allowed?
You know, what do you mean? Is it allowed? I mean, if
And
they're
And
students,
that's what
we
our
can
school is
get into
known
it during the
for.
commercial break. That's that's all I'll say.
After the commercial break, after we talk about intramural greatness, we are going to talk about baseball, a little bit more promising than basketball. I'm so excited. We'll see you right after the break.
It's that time of the year again, fellas. When the mornings are hot, the afternoons are hotter, and football is on its way back. Now, games is won by the battles fought in August. Everyone that's not revealed as an Ole Miss legend has been in your shoes before, trying to survive at Mississippi Heat, competing for a spot, and knowing the sacrifice that it takes to make it in this league. You go into this money collection of men from 100 different places, and if you work, you emerge from it as one team with one goal and one heartbeat. The SEC awaits you. And if they don't know who you are now, they will soon.
The dynamic freshman is starting to make his impact. Dagger with the shot clock down to 1. That 3-ball drops for Jamin Brakefield. Fagan from the corner with a triple. Burrell for 3, and that's a big response. 3-ball, yes. Biss shooting lights out at the pavilion. And give him one more. Wow. Alley. Oh. Well, you can't teach that. Oh, that should give Ole Miss a boost.
Ole Miss 18th NCAA tournament appearance.
This is fun, folks, as Baker's peeling it. Little heat check. Snow Collins for 3. Bring it up.
It said, I love Madison Scott.
Ole Miss Rebels are having a lot of fun, and you can see why.
All right, bringing things to the diamond, Ole Miss has officially collected its first loss and second loss of the season, which is unfortunate, but none of them have been at home. So if you haven't been out to Swayze yet, I totally recommend it. It's lovely. What do we think, though, heading to Houston about the Bruce Bolt Classic? Because that's when we were facing some real challenges, some Power 4 teams, some actual competition, and we did. I don't think we're laughing.
Oh, no, it's nothing. It's just that, you pointed at me kind of to talk about the baseball team here. And I was going to kind of start by saying this baseball team seems to be the saving grace this season for Ole Miss fans that don't want to, divert their attention to basketball. But it's funny, I haven't had too much of a chance to follow up, but the Bruce Bolt Classic did occur. And I think there was a lot of good takeaways from it. That is the most vague thing you could say about it, if not knowing much about it. But we have some great players. I totally butchered this earlier. Judd Utermark had multiple home runs recently, and he's obviously one of the team's hottest hitters right now. So I do think that there is a lot of potential in this team, and there's a lot of fight, and that's going to be something interesting seeing in these weeks to come.
Yeah, I had numerous takeaways from these past 3 games that happened in the Classic. I think my first one was Baylor, which it was not a bad loss. We only lost by 1 little hit, and I don't think that's bad in 10 innings. So I think what I said was Hunter Elliott. I think for me, he was a star of this game. Struck out 11 batters in over 5 innings. That's really hard to do. And he struck out 8 of the last 10 batters he faced, which is, that's impressive going against Baylor. And then also for Ohio State, when we played them, Cade Townsend is somebody who's new that's stepping up to the plate every day, and he allowed 0 runs, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 5 innings, and that's impressive to me.
Look, like I said last show, we're going to lose some non-conference games. We play non-conference games to get better to SEC schedule later on in the year. I'm okay with the Baylor game. I'm okay with the Ohio State game. I'm not okay with the Coastal Carolina game. We absolutely just I don't even think we wanted to show up for that game. We just wanted to come home back to Oxford. We just laid an egg. And this team is, you said it was a saving grace of Ole Miss sports. We commit too many errors, and we're too poor on defense at this point in the year to make up for our offense. We're not scoring that many runs. These non-conference teams are actually holding up with us, and I'm not happy right now.
What is nice is that when this team is kind of on a streak, it would look like offensively, there's a very dynamic bench. I think that's great to notice. We are, I think, a much more talented team offensively than in the outfield.
I agree. Do you think this team should be ranked?
No.
I don't either.
I think that our offense has a problem with, stringing hits together, though. Like, we've got the homers, we've got the home runs. Dom Decker, Dirty Dom, second Decker, he hadn't hit a home run in his entire career, and then he's hitting a bunch with Ole Miss. Yeah. So that's awesome. But we are not, if it's not the long ball, we're not really able to score. The Baylor game, my problem with it, not one run with runners in scoring positions. Not one hit with runner in scoring positions. That's not good. If all we can do is hit home runs to score someone who just walked, we cannot rely on that going through the entire season. We can't be a 3 true outcome team that strikes out and walks and then hits home runs to, oh, that's so exciting, there's fireworks and jet work. But it's not gonna work when we're playing Texas and we're playing LSU and we're playing Tennessee. These programs are really, really good, and we can't just, rely on home runs with them. So that's my concern. I think that offense is great. I think pitching, I think Joel Mangrum, I think he's put together an incredible pitching staff, and that's amazing, but I think offense is almost a bigger question mark than the infield defense problems that we have.
You summed it up perfectly. Nobody else can really top that.
Thank you so much.
So why are these bum teams competing with us?
Well, with Coastal Carolina, which is not a bum team, I just think it's a good representation of some of the problems we have, because we weren't able to string those hits together, right? The 2 runs that we scored were a Dom Decker 2-run home run, so that shows that.
A double decker.
A second Decker, yeah.
Right.
Nice. So that's awesome, but then we weren't able to continue it because we aren't getting hits with runners in scoring position, and then the runs that we're allowing, 2 of them were unearned. There were 3 errors in the infield, so that's the defense you're talking about, right? That's not great. But then it's like small ball things. They're bunting and we're overthrowing, and they're getting RBI groundouts. Like they're not playing pretty aesthetic baseball like we are, but they're the one who put up 9 runs to our 2. So that's a big concern that I have, is teams are able to get these little scrappy hits and steals and bunts against us. Midweek games.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch Memphis or North Alabama? Because how do we bounce back from the Bruce Folk Classic when we lost more games than we won?
Okay, the Memphis game, we did bounce back really good. It was 7-1, and I think that was impressive. I put Judd again, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Did I say right?
Judd is now number 8 all time for Ole Miss home runs, so he's close.
Wow. Okay. Owen Kelly and Grayson Gibson combined for 10 strikeouts, and then for North Alabama, we overcame a 4-1 deficit, which is going back to the theme of why are we, struggling against these type of teams, and I think that's what I'm looking at ultimately. And the game I have circled on my calendar is March 10th versus USM, 45 minutes from where I live. So I will be at the game. Catch me outside.
What do you think?
Well, yeah, this is the game that put Utermark on the pedestal for me, I think. I was watching the highlight reel earlier today, and the takeaways were that this team, although it's great to have a dynamic bench and a dynamic bullpen, all that, you need leaders on the team, and you need somebody who has this kind of, fame and this expectation right now in order to string along everybody else. And I think that's what they really need going into these games in the coming weeks. North Alabama too. Utermark, for me, I think is one of the guys right now that needs to have all eyes on him, and we need to see consistent performance under that pressure and not just flashes of greatness.
Yeah, I would say my version of that, my guy is Colin Reuter. He was my Rebel to watch last week, because he is, a little bit more consistent. He's batting .450 right now, there's been enough games for that to still be very impressive. And I guess I just want to say, mark my words, he will be our weekend catcher by the end of the year. Austin Foley has fallen off. That's clever. And I think Reuter is stepping up. He's our backup catcher right now. I think it's going to be a Smithwick to Foley situation with Reuter taking over for Foley, I think.
I do want to ask you something about these upcoming SEC games. We have Texas, USM, and those kind of games. How do you feel going into that?
Every single opponent that we play until May is currently ranked, like, for the weekend season. Like, the SEC in baseball is so good right now. And then Southern Miss also is a really good baseball program. Shout out Matt Wallner from the Minnesota Twins. He played for USM.
Shout out Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Go Hattiesburg.
I could have went to that school. It was only like 45 minutes.
I'm so glad you went here.
Yeah, I am too.
So I think every single series is a challenge, and if we're playing like we've been playing, we won't be ranked. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about baseball?
I hope we don't go on a losing streak like that.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
We'll see.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. We'll see. I hope we
tuned.
don't lose. Incredible reporting from RebelWatch today. After the break, we are going to talk a little bit about football, some little throwback. So, there was a big thing with the NCAA, Combine, and we might talk about the transfer portal. We'll be right back after the break.
Passion is journalism. Here at the University of Mississippi, we produce a nightly half-hour newscast, broadcasting regionally on cable and globally on the World Wide Web. It's the kind of experience that is preparing me to walk into any news station in the country with the skills and abilities I need to succeed. So it's not just preparing me for the real world, it is the real world.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hand? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We are rebels. For more than 160 years, we've been accomplishing the impossible, from conducting the world's first lung transplant to helping prove Einstein was right. From preserving the past to saving the future. We are Mississippi's flagship university, a place where passion and learning unite, where friends become family, where small-town charm meets world-class innovation. We are the University of Mississippi. We are Ole Miss.
All right, before we get started about football, I want to kind of highlight some athletes from all over Ole Miss sports that we think you should be watching with RebelWatch's Rebels to Watch. Paxton, who is your Rebel to Watch?
My RebelWatch is Patton Pickens. He's a 6'5" freshman. He's averaging 10 points and 2 rebounds a game. He's just been recently inserted to the starting lineup, and he's been getting about 30 minutes a game since the end of January. And he's been a corner piece for us right now. I mean, he's a freshman. He's just getting better. Patton Pickens is going to be a great player for us next year as long as he doesn't hit the transfer portal. He's only a freshman, so he's probably going to get a ton of money, a ton of offers. So I hope he stays a Rebel.
Yeah. I got Daniel Toff, golf player for Ole Miss Golf, and of course he's for freshman standout from Sweden. What is Sweden known for? Don't know. We'll just make something up. Fish. Swedish fish. And then he won the Watersound Invitational, and he won the SEC Freshman of the Week honor. So,
Toff golf.
Yes.
My Rebel to Watch is Cade Townsend. You should watch him this Saturday. He'll be our Saturday starter. He's pitched 3 times. One of them was against Ohio State, where, like you said, he shut them out, no runs allowed. His ERA is .66 right now with 3 starts, and that's like in 13.2 innings. Part of that is that he's on a pitch count. He can't pitch more than 70 pitches, but a lot of it is that he's looking really dominant this year. He's been working with Mangrum, with our pitching coach. He's added new pitches to his repertoire. He is going to be a star this year. Look out for him.
Yeah, my Rebel 12, I mean, I got the rules a little blurry because my guy isn't currently a student, but I wanted to shout out former Ole Miss basketball player Sean Padula, who had a successful career with the Rebels, to say the least. And then he was playing on the San Diego Clippers, the G League in the NBA, and then now just recently he's gotten pulled up. So I'm really hoping to see something great out of him because he was an absolutely phenomenal player, and clearly his career currently is showing for it. So totally shout out Sean Padula.
Shout out to Max for leaving, coming back,
and making
taking
his
my
own
segment
rules.
and turning
Lane
it on its
Kiffin.
head.
And I'll be leaving again.
That's that kind of like
And
you
then,
know,
are you-
dynamic that he brings here.
Have you been watching that he's been trying to fit in 20 different poses in one session over here?
Are you posing under
didn't
there?
notice that.
I'm.
No.
The thumbnail will thank you for it.
Maybe
Thank
I'm
you
just
so much.
antsy because I'm so nervous being back.
Hey, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, I know.
It's all right.
So it's cool. It's cool.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit of football then, because in the off season, some things are finally starting to shake up. The NCAA recently appealed the decision that we just recently talked about Trinidad Chambliss. Right now, he is allowed to play, but they're appealing that. There's a couple reasons that they're appealing it. Obviously, we're not, legal professionals, but do we have any, thoughts or concerns about this recent development?
Yeah, I think this whole situation's a joke. I mean, Trinidad's already gone through so much. Just let the kid play. I mean, the NCAA is trying to make a point for college athletes who don't get their way in waiver cases, and then they just want to go to state courts and get eligibility. But these lawyers literally left the courtroom before they, Trinidad got his decision. So I just think this is just classless from the NCAA. Another situation that was like this was Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt. He actually got a preliminary injunction, then actually got it appealed, but he started playing in September, and they didn't even do anything until October. So I wonder if this is going to set a precedent for injunction cases like this. But just let the kid play. I mean, he didn't do anything to you. All he does is promote the NCAA. It looks good for college football. He's a face of our school. So I just don't understand what the holdup is.
For me, is let the brother play. I'm so tired of this. Let him play because I don't know. First of all, for me, this happened February the 12th when they told him he could play. Why wait so late? Why wait till the combine is happening? Why wait? So it's just so many questions for me. And there's so many players out there who done played for 6 years and been in college for 6 years, doctors also. TJ Finley, Carson Beck, you got Tyler Stroud. You got all these people who've been here that could put doctor on their name, and now you won't let him just put doctor on his name also? I mean, let him go out there and play.
Can you explain the doctor thing?
More than 4 years of school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Saying doctor.
Right. I mean, my take on the whole thing is it's a problem with the system as a whole. If you let guys like Carson Beck continue, then I absolutely think that Trinidad should keep playing. Get that out of the way. He's obviously been an unproblematic kid, a great example of, a role model, and that's all great. But despite that fact, and I do think that he should keep playing, I think that this is a problem that you need to stop at the roots, and I think the NCAA needs to stop with the issue of, letting these players play for so long now because of the money thing, and it all ties back into NIL. And that's I think the one thing that's killing college sports is NIL. And, it's not just on the player side. The whole Lane Kiffin debacle was the same thing. Coming back, coaching, or figuring out if you can fire a coach, hire a coach within the season. All this stuff. It is system cancer is what it is. It's killing college football, and it's killing college sports really. But in Trinidad's case, the court process was long and dragged out. They want to dramatize the whole thing. I think the Ole Miss did a great job at appealing it. Coach Joe Judge was amazing in court. He had a lot of great points to bring up, and that was a whole process that went through. But you hear in these appeals, all these things, have it one way or don't have it that way at all. That's all I have to say about it.
Look,
There's a lot of picking and choosing that's going on right now. You can pick this, and then you can say this person can play, but this person can't play, and this is the reason why they. And the thing I'm just gonna say is cancel the whole NIL, cancel the portal, because it's all just really just making me upset. Because you can't just say this person can go out there and play on Saturdays, and this person got to go on to Sundays. Let the person play, please.
Right.
Look what would happen for Trinidad if he didn't play for Ole Miss next year. He already signed a $5 million NIL deal with us, so that's already irreparable harm against him and his family. You know how much that $5 million would do for your family? That's actually insane. And the NFL draft is in, next month? So he can't even train for the draft, so he'd have to sit out an additional year. If they keep dragging out this process, I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I do believe as they're dragging out the process, like Pavia, though, he gets to keep playing until there is a decision, right? Someone know?
Yeah.
I think so.
No, he's eligible right now.
Myself.
He's eligible right now. He can go train or whatever, do what he wants.
Yeah, so I mean,
now.
part of this is since we got that preliminary injunction, while they appeal it and it's, stretched out, he'll be able to play for the time being. So that is good. I think I agree with all of y'all that like there needs to be a precedent set and we need to stick with it. I think it's partly COVID that also affected that besides just NIL because the players got the extra year.
It's a hoax.
I mean, I don't know. The NIL in itself is just so problematic, and I just saw.
What do you think of the no tax?
So that's the thing. I think it's stupid. Again, I honestly think in the first place, and again, I'm an absolutely enormous football fanatic, but I don't think that college kids should be getting paid this kind of money in the first place to play a game. It is a game, and when all this stuff with NIL gets brought up with these insane numbers and it's shifting the course of that game, I think that's ridiculous. But yeah, with the no tax and NIL, stupid. I think you should have all of your earnings taxed, no matter what kind of line of work you're in. And if we're going past the point where you're getting paid millions of dollars for a game, then you should, get taxed for it. That's what I think.
I disagree with that.
Why? No, you should get taxed.
Because it incentivizes kids to come to Mississippi to play football, like instead of going to Texas or like Alabama.
No, it used to be about the love of the game.
Okay. Also,
He's not talking about NIL as like a concept.
no, he's talking about the tax on it.
No. And that makes I get your point as well. That makes sense. So that could be good for us.
Everybody needs to get taxed. Doctors get taxed. Lawyers get taxed.
It varies. Yes.
People who save lives get taxed.
What do you think about having a cap on NIL? Like, say a player can only make $1 million.
I think
That would be better.
Maximum player can make is $1 million.
Well, they could donate it to me.
Well, even that's for a college kid, good to you. And I guess I'm not really sure, how the equity runs throughout, jersey sales and likeness and all this stuff. I'm not sure. $1 million for me, blanket statement, seems like a lot to play a game. But yeah, I think there should be a cap on it for sure, and I agree.
Yeah, and it's gone beyond name, image, and likeness because when we bought our student tickets this year, we gave money to the football players. We all had to donate. So it's not just like them profiting out. It's that Grove Collective. It's the collectives that is a lot of this money being funneled into these kids.
What's funny about it too is that schools now will start doing things like they're charging more for parking. I know a specific example is at Virginia Tech. They had signs up during the football season that parking was some I guess. Depends on what tax bracket you come from, but it was an absurd price, I guess. And it said on the sign, don't worry, your money is helping our athletes. That's ridiculous. I don't think the students should have to pay for the repercussion of a game. I keep saying that because it's important.
Yeah, I think that a cap is maybe a good idea, whether it's $1 million or $10,000. A cap would maybe kind of bring back down to earth like how those programs are going to like really be able to get the best players if they have the most money. But before there was NIL, there was under the table, money transactions. So it's always going to exist.
Well, that's the thing is that, you made a great point about how it's going to if it were to hypothetically have a cap on NIL, it would reshape programs again. It would be building a program, staying with a program because they will develop you as a player.
Recruiting.
But yeah, under the table stuff is going to happen all the time. There were accusations even within the walls of the old Miss football team this now off season about all this stuff about under the table recruiting and all this, this tampering. I know Dabo Sweeney had a problem. He had a press conference about it. But yeah, the whole thing is, I think there's too much weeds in it, and I think it's all because of NIL.
Yeah, it's definitely become more of a business than just the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be hypocritical. If I was getting NIL, I probably would want $10 million.
You want $10 million?
I'd stay in college as long as I could if I'm getting paid $10 million.
Well, that's what they're doing.
They do.
Look what's going on. I would stay in college too.
Dr. Mariah Evans.
Stay
here for like 7 years, 8 years.
That's all we have for today.
Yep.
I wish that I could give you guys any amount of NIL money, but we're in journalism. We are not actually athletes. I have been your host, Erika Dierke.
I'm Max Certuse.
I'm Mariah Evans.
And I'm Paxton DeBardeleben.
Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks after spring break. Hotty toddy.